Hello, this is Patrick Roy. You must remember me. We are one of the wild guys. Used to do a lot of canoeing and rafting throughout British Columbia, Northwest Territories, Yukon, even out in the ocean a little bit. Now we're going to take, my wife and I are going to continue doing some traveling. We're going to be heading up into Alaska. Actually, we just got back from Alaska. And this movie here is going to be a lot about Alaska and the glaciers. That should be cool. Hey, anyways, we are going to go to we went to the Hubbard Glacier. We also went to the Salmon Glacier. We've gone to Glacier Bay. We've gone to also Bear Glacier. There's some of the roads that we've been on. Glaciers are all over the top of the mountains and they're coming down. So there's piles of other glaciers as well. We changed our life. We've moved into a high-rise condo, so it frees us up so we can use our time to travel throughout the north of Canada. If we're really lucky, we might even do the Northwest Passage. Anyways, we are going to also cover some points in regards to life in a high-rise strata condo. We've learned a lot since we've been in here and we can share that with you. Anyways, we look forward to having you come along with us and having a real cool trip as we go to 4 different glaciers. If you're planning on taking a cruise ship in the Inside Pass and heading north, one of the ways is you can fly into Vancouver and then go to the cruise ship center from there. This will be the second cruise we've took up in the Inside Passage, and we've pretty well covered different communities and areas and different things to see each time. So it's been great. We could go even a third time. The first cruise from Vancouver up to Alaska was on the Inside Passage, and we went from Vancouver to Ketchikan to Juneau to Skagway. Then we also went to Glacier Bay, up to Whittier and to Anchorage, and flew back home. The cruise that we just finished from, we left Vancouver and we went on the Inside Passage to Sitka. Then we went to Hubbard Glacier, Juneau, Ketchikan, and then took the Inside Passage back to Vancouver. On August the 20th, 2023, guess what? We were in Vancouver looking at this cruise ship. Wow! It was way bigger than our canoe that we had, and it looked even more comfortable than our canoe and our tent. We were ready to move on. Only minutes after leaving Vancouver, you're going to be going under the Lions Gate Bridge. It's something that everybody looks forward to, and some of the newer ships actually can't go underneath it because it's only 61 meters high. It wasn't very long, and we were leaving the terminal in Vancouver and heading off to Sitka, Alaska, 722 nautical miles. On August 21st, though, we were in the Inside Passage, traveling along. On Sunday, we checked out our cabin. We also did our little safety drill that we have to do, and then we took off and we traveled around the ship to see what our home was going to be like for the next 7 days. Sitka was the site of the signing of the Alaska Purchase for $7.2 million. Well, this is Monday, August the 22nd, and we're in Sitka, Alaska, and we're going to do some shopping, and we want to do some touring and learn about the new modern things that's come to Sitka, and also to learn about many of the things of the past, the history that we want to see before it's gone and no longer with us. I notice there's a lot of tourism. Also, we have the service industry when it comes to buying jewelry. We got a lot of that here, and also the fishing that's in the area. Healthcare and education, and yes, some of the hydro that they have here are also big employers here. It was nice to see that the Russian culture from many years back and traditions and many of the archives are still there in Sitka. It was really enjoyable watching and seeing these things. We were happy to get to see some Russian traditional dancing. Now, after some of the Russian dancing, tomorrow, August 23rd, we're going to the Hubbard Glacier. The Hubbard Glacier is the largest tidewater glacier on the North American continent. It is located in the U.S. state of Alaska and also in Canada's Yukon Territory. Looking at the weather in 2023, they didn't have that many trips where there was a lot of warm weather, but you can see by my wife there didn't have a lot of winter clothes on. She was nice and warm, so we had a great trip. It was one of the better trips that they had in 2023. The Hubbard Glacier stands at 11,000 feet above sea level. The glacier stretches 76 miles from the source in the Yukon to the Sea of Yakutat Bay and the Disenchantment Bay. It is the largest tidewater glacier in Alaska with an open calving face of 6 miles. It has been thickening and advancing toward the Gulf of Alaska since it was first mapped by the International Boundary Commission in 1895. This is far different than most glaciers. I was reading that 90% of the glaciers in the world are actually thinning and getting smaller, but this one is growing. There's about 10% of glaciers is growing in the world. I hope that the captain has got his eyes out because we've got an entrance to the Russell Fjord, and that's going to take us in to the Hubbard Glacier. This is where the water should be coming out from the Glacier Hubbard, but Disenchanted Bay and Yakutat Bay blocked it off for a while, but the water just kept building up and finally blew it out of there, and so the sea animals could get back to their normal life. If the Hubbard Glacier keeps glowing since it has been since 1895, then we're going to form the largest glacier dam lake on the North American continent. As we started into the lake in front of the Hubbard Glacier, we noticed that it looked like there was going to be a lot of fog, and we weren't sure how much we were going to see of the glacier. But as we spent some time going in, it cleared up, and it was a beautiful day, and we got some great pictures. So we were very happy with that. As you've seen from the map just a ways back, this would be the entrance to the Hubbard Glacier, and it is the Yakutat Bay and also the Disenchantment Bay. and this is the one that gets plugged up from time to time and needs to get blown out by the water. The Hubbard Glacier originates in the St. Elias Mountains and terminates in Disenchanted Bay that's very near Russell Fjord. The Hubbard Glacier is sometimes called the Galloping Glacier because it has been advancing to the Disenchantment Bay for more than 100 years. Seems there's a lot of earthquakes and volcanoes in the area as well. Sitka that we left today is only accessible by boat and plane. For the first time in 64 years, the Denali is dramatically surging. The Muldrow Glacier is moving 100 times faster than it had been before. This was Mount McKinley, but it's gone back to the former name of Mount Denali. Years back, my wife and I were doing a tour there, and we were just seeing how the mountain had effect on the glaciers then. The Bering Glacier is the largest and the longest glacier in the continental North America. The largest surging glacier on Earth. Actually, it is surged 6 times between 1993 and 1995, but at this particular time, it is receding. We'll bring the first half of the inside passage up into Alaska and Hubbard Bay to a close, but come back with us as you watch the calving glaciers in action. You will also see some more on Glacier Bay in Alaska and also in Canada, the Salmon Glacier and also the Bear Glacier. Series 2 should be interesting as we continue on. Come on back and join me as we look at glaciers in the world and learn more about the glaciers in the Antarctic, especially the ones in the eastern side.